All right, friends and fans, Bob's Barn Workshop. We are here in the barn again. We're not going to work on the Volkswagen today because that's on hold. What I'm trying to do is get my big go-kart here, my heavily modified Silver Fox, big fenders, you know, lights, toolbox, single seat, electric start, 18 horsepower motor, knobby tires all the way around. I'm going to make hopefully I'm going to make some sort of hold down for that fuel tank. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we need to improve the brakes. It's only got a 6-inch brake disc. So I bought a 8-inch. So we're going to have to raise this up, drop this side of the axle down, probably take the axle all the way off maybe. Got to get the chain off then. But I got to get it up in the air. That's the hard part. I tried to lift it. It's way too heavy. So I'm going to be jacking it up. I don't expect you to have to watch all that, but I'm going to jack it up, get the rear axle, start to take it apart. So here we go. All right, guys. I got her jacked up precariously, but she's pretty steady. I'm not going to be under the vehicle. 1 1/8 nuts. Monster. Make life easy, huh? Power tools. Alright. So I got that and that. I'm going to lay this. There's a spacer. There's 2 spacers. So those guys go inside that tube is just for grease, I think. Boy, I don't know if I'm ever going to get that. I got to get the chain off. There we go. Duh. Okay, make sure you push it off the pins in the right direction. The little springy thing fell off. Don't lose that. It's just this little flat plate with the slots. Alright. Whoop, there that goes. That's the actual side to the master link, the little figure 80 thing. And then another 5 comes right out like that. And off comes your greasy chain. Because I got to drop this axle down and I don't want to move the engine placement, any of that stuff. Chain. Oh, I see where the chain's been rubbing. This thing is out of whack quite a bit. I gotta shucky my engine around. Must be I probably overstressed it or something. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna take that fender out of the way. All right, so you saw me put these on. These are just 1/4-inch bolts with big washers through the plastic tub, which is what I use for fenders. And nylock nuts on this side. And I see got a couple of washers under that one. Through the miracle of so now what are we up to? We're up to getting the bearings loose, dropping the axle. Ugh. How the hell am I going to do that? I'm hoping I can just drop the axle and get the disc off, because it gets ugly after that. I can see the sprocket is so big I can't get it out past the axle. or the bracket for the bearing and stuff. It's kind of like solidly welded in there. I'm just putting the nuts back on these bolts, putting them up here so I don't lose them. For the fendets. Now I put another, if you remember right, I put another, I'm going to put this up on the seat, my master link. I put another center bearing on this just because this motor is so strong. I was afraid it was going to maybe bend the axle or flex the axle. So I put another one inboard of the, so I really only need to loosen these two, and I think those are 1/2 inch, which they are. Pretty sure they are. Yep, 1/2 inch. There's 1/2 inch nuts on the inside, so we're just going to blast them off. One lock washer on the inside, that's it. Nothing on the outside. Do 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 do. Stowing away the time. For goodness sakes. I think I need a 13mm. Which will work on a 1/2 inch, I believe. Yes, just enough to hold it. Alright. Comes that lock washer. So we got the outboard bearing loose. Now I gotta get the center one out. Alright, so the center bearing cap is out, retainer. And that's just like a clamshell that squeezes on both sides of the bearing. Now it should be free to, oh, I'm on the brake. I gotta see if I can get that out of there somehow. This is going to be a job. I might have to remove one of these brackets for that center bearing to get it to move forward enough. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I can get that bearing pushed out of the way. There we go. This other bearing cup over here does help hold it, but I got to get this shaft off here now. I'm sweating, boys. Well, God bless America, and miracles never cease. The slotted screw actually is coming out. Come out with ease. Alright. Now, that guy's out of the way. There's his bolts. I gotta take the other side off, like I did, so you don't really need to watch all this. So now I gotta wish me luck, see if I can draw all this out of here. Oh, I gotta move the one bearing on the far side. Yeah, as I thought. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it off the mounts. Alright, well, you've seen me do that. We'll come back. Alright, I got the other side, the bearing hanger out, so there's nothing that it has to slide through. Well, it's out of that side. It's everything on this side that's the problem. Get it up here. I don't know that it's coming out, guys. I've got myself worked into a corner here. See, I can't get it out on that side because this sprocket's going to hold me up. I hadn't moved this brace here, we'd be golden. I'm just going to run that guy down all the way. There we go. I got that one passed. I got that one passed. Getting her. Alright. I'll leave that hanging there so it reminds me. We got her out! Now I gotta get this SOB off in there. And I don't know exactly how we're gonna do that, but I gotta put a nut on these threads to protect them. For sure. We don't want to screw our nuts up. What's up, the famous man? I can't believe I can't see any kind of set screw on this thing at all. So, the hell. Let's see if the new one fits on easy. Oh, I can't do that. Well, I can do it on this end. Just barely, but she's gonna go. I guess I'm going to try just beating on this at first. Let the blast, oh, it does look like it's soaking down in there good. Boy, I'm going to have a hard time figuring out all that stuff goes back on. Somewhere here, I got a big 4-pound hammer. I'm going to start out with it on a block of wood. Oh, hell yes. It wants to come. It's just sitting there. There's no... I think it was just... Oh, duh. Now I gotta take the nut back off. Dummy. can't believe that was just pressed on there. I think it was so it would be self-centering. Oh, it's kind of like, it looks almost like it's been swaged or something. A little bit. All right, so I don't have to worry about, I need to slide it through the disc. Oh, I gotta cut that brake mount off first. This is getting complicated. I gotta cut the old brake off. It just slides out like that. And this is a new one I bought, so this has got good brake pucks and everything in it. But I got to cut this guy out. And I'm not sure exactly how to do that right yet. I got to get a grinder up in here. Maybe I can... I'm thinking Sawzall, guys. So let me look for my Sawzall. Alright, she already has a Sawzall or a hacksaw blade in it. I'm going to be right in your way. I'm having a hard time getting that to slide on that shaft, so I'm going to take an old flap wheel to her and clean it up. See if I can get it to slide on nice. It's got some corrosion on it. I got the spindle in as far as it needs to go. Okay, it's just exactly what we want. We want to be able to adjust these babies like that. Alright. This is an old hex shaft. Now, as I said, I got to be clever and make sure this goes in there right, because I want to make sure I got all my spacers where they should be. Hey, she's almost in. Alright. Now, that guy clamps there, that guy clamps there. The other side goes on by itself. I'm going to put the brakes on. I checked the bearings on these before, and they're sealed, and they're actually sealed pretty good. Now, which way did they go on? I guess they go on facing out this way. Oh, shit. Gotta do it all over again. Funny because I can actually work this gear over the star here, get it into the right grooves. She only goes over just like that. Alright, get a little grease on this. Grease never hurt rusty stuff, does it? Now the next problem is getting this lined up and putting the brake on it. But, I think that goes outboard of this. So now I believe there were one spacer and then the bearing. I got to put a bearing cup on. These are greasy, so they're not rusty. Lube these bearing cups up a little bit, because that bearing has to, if you've never seen this, these rounded bearings, even if though your bearing mount isn't right, they're oval shaped. So you can see the bearing will sort of self-adjust in there. Alright. Alright. Alright now. Now I can actually adjust the, if I got the motor down. The wife's calling probably. Well, that made my day. Yeah, right. It was a financial advisor that I invest with calling to say happy birthday, because today is my birthday. But yeah, okay. That makes me feel a little warm and fuzzy. I don't know about you. So I had to take it apart once because I forgot one of the bearing caps. The bearing cap clamshells, these are just the two holders. Trap the bearing. So raise that up into the first hole. I'm using the bottom holes on these brackets. That seems to be the way that this was originally installed. And I'm just going to put them in the holes right now to align. Oh, that goes through from the back. I guess it really doesn't matter. But I think it's from the back. So, put them tabs together. Put your hands together now. Shout it out loud. Played myself a great little rock and roll show yesterday afternoon at my favorite little winery up in the Thousand Islands. And near the cottage. You've probably seen videos of my cottage. Anybody who follows me regular. And a who? Is that right? They go on the outside or the inside? I thought they went on the inside, but yeah, I'm seeing. They're fine. It'll work. Put your hands together now. That guy should be lined up correctly. Okay, there we go. Everything is kind of heavy. Heavy. He ain't heavy. He is my brother. Alright. I'm going to zoom out wide just because I'm doing so much stuff here. I don't have time to manage the camera. Alright. This guy was on the inside of this. That was on there like that there. I'm sure these were on the inside like this. I'm sure they were. The next part is I got to weld a bracket to hold that right caliper in proper position. But right now I'm just hanging these bearings finger tight. Sorry, this is so long and boring. It ain't like Vice Grip Garage or somebody cool like that. What the hell? You won that? Yeah, I won that. It's a major award. Hell, you say. Alright. I'm getting there. I'm hoping that this 8-inch disc brake is an improvement in braking. I'm still using the old mechanical brake. I did buy, as I said earlier, I bought a new mechanical brake. Don't fall on me now, baby. I guess. How the hell how can that be? I guess it's all right. It was a major award. And you say? This bearing is not standard on this vehicle. It was installed just to reinforce the extra pull from the chain. Now come on the big motor of mine. Just in case it pulled like a horse and bent the chain or something. Hell. Well, I guess it messes. Alright, well that's the problem. Oh, my Lord. Of course my pliers are over there. I don't know. I'm not really worried about that side anyway. Alright. That and them babies down. Are we having fun yet? No, we're not! And I tell you. Oh, no, that one's all ready to go back on. But do you no harm? Do 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 do. gotta come out way out to there. Just believe me when I tell you, I'll never do you no harm. I think that's it. One of these goes on good. There we go. Okay. So, that guy. All right. So I'm hoping everything works out here. That I think that guy's supposed to come out there like that. Yeah, he just misses that pivot bolt. And we can get up in there with an Allen wrench. But the brake shoe thing will hold it. And what I plan on doing, okay, this is the bracket. I'm planning on putting it on the I gotta back this off some. Putting it on the brake bracket and then tightening it up on the brake rotor. Tightening the brake up and then figuring out the braces I need. So if I were to clamp this on here now, that would hold it. How much closer I can get? I mean, I can hit some of it right there, but if I bring out some brackets from here, so that's all it's going. That'll work. I'll just have to clamp it on there. All right, let me get these guys tightened back up. I'm sure hoping that this works better than the cheesy bread. get a haircut tomorrow. Happy haircut to me. There we go, everything's going smooth. That guy can be tightened later. I guess I could do it now. Time's it getting to be? I can adjust the wheel a little bit too after I get the chain position. After I get that clamped on there, right? Burpity, burpity. Yeah, the chain's been riding on the thing. That's what the thing has been. I got to twist that motor around just a little bit after I tighten the chain up. Let's go beach. Here we come, you wild mothers. I've got to have some little pieces of angle iron around here, something that I can weld that brake caliper brace to. But the brake, it's unfortunate. It's weird that the tapped. No. If I was to tap that, I could make this brake easier to remove. Because this has to go on there like that there. Yep, she's got to go on there like that. She's got to fit on there like that as deep as she can go without rubbing. And then this has to go up on there. And I can tilt that back, so I got much adjustment. I got no adjustment up there. So this is going to have to be finagled a little bit. This brake rod adjustment. But it rides right there. I put some guides here and here to help it not bind up. I got the shocks set as light as they'll go right now, and they're still really too tight. But at least they work. I have a little bit of shock when I hit something really hard. If I get this done today, I'll be happy, because I'll be able to take the cart, and then I got to start working on finding a trailer or something. I'm getting packed. This looks like I could just drill another hole in it. Oh, darling. I got brake lights on this. Ow, 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 ow. Damn. I always do stupid stuff like that. Bust my knuckle. Ah. But I welded that little bracket there. See, it guides the rod. Oh, because see, it's a straight rod, but then it's got two bends. Well, these bends want to straighten out when you push on the brake hard. So I put a guide here and a guide here on each side of the bend so that, you know, it helps transmit the power through the, without flexing the shaft as much as possible, much as I could. it is what it is. Am I procrastinating? Well, maybe a little. What I gotta do is I've gotta find the materials now. So that I can weld on this little bracket. I've got steel around here. Let me see what I got. All right. Alrighty, well I came up with a scheme for mounting it. If you look, that's the caliper bracket clamped in the vise along with the piece of metal that I'm going to use as a brace, and that will fit right against the side of the frame, and hopefully it'll all work out. I'm not much of a welder, but it'll be welded anyway, you know what I'm saying? Now this is a gas feed welder. Get it tacked. Now I'm going to go check the fit before I commit to welding it all the way. Yeah, this ought to work great. Gonna tack it to get it in the middle. I was always told you push with a MIG welder with gas. So I'm pushing. I probably don't need to weld it this much. Now they're proud, that's fine, they're going to be buried. Nobody will ever see that. It's going to be on the back of the frame. I'm going to give them a little right in here. So I'm going to tilt away from you. Man, that's ugly. Just slow it down a little bit and see what happens. Don't look at it. If you don't see it, you won't notice it. There, she's ugly. So I'm not even going to show you the welds. Booger welds, they call them. But for a little brake caliper, she's more than sufficient. Alright. I got to practice welding more, obviously. Well, anyway, here's our bracket. I could grind this down, but I'm not going to. I got to let it cool off for a while. Now I got to go over and clean the frame where I want to attach this to the well, I have to say I'm pretty happy with every way everything turned out. My little bracket over here. I mean, yeah, it's not the prettiest welding you ever saw, but all that is like an 1.5 inch strap of a 1/4 inch that hooks to the back of that brake bracket, and believe me, it ain't bending. And it's more of a pulling force anyway, rotating force, not bending on the welds. So, and I got my 8-inch brake disc in now, as you saw. So now I just need to adjust everything. All right, guys and gals, I've been spending this last few minutes here adjusting the sprocket. Now remember, I left the sprocket loose, but what I did is I compared how the engine sit to how the chain went down through this slot. So I actually ended up putting a washer under the chain side of the motor to help tip that angle a little bit more and make it more flush to this backing plate. And then I just bumped the sprocket back and forth, because remember, it was still loose, until I got it right dead center in there so we won't get any hitting. And I tightened her up. And again, I got the brake bracket welded on here. She ain't going nowhere. And I got this 8-inch disc brake. Hopefully that will brake better than before. So all I got left to do is put my fenders back on, and I got to get some brackets, some sheet metal to put spreaders on them. As you can see, they've started to warp inward. So I'm just going to put a bar across here with a 90-degree angle on each end just to spread these out. Push between here. Just a couple of 1/4-inch bolts. That's just like some 3/16 strapping by 1 inch. All right, well, I'm ready to let her down. Well, maybe I'll put the fender on while I can, so you guys don't want to see that. Well, there you go, boys and girls. Got the fender back on, wheels are back on, brakes are hooked up. I don't have time for a test drive right now, unfortunately. Got to go to my birthday party. But let's put her back on the ground. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to put the wood blocks under the wheels. So that I can get the jack out. Oh, I'm still recording that. Sorry, guys. Might have been ugly. Booga booga. I'll throw the hammerhead in there. See what happens. Let me push that a little farther forward. Whoa! Oh, there she goes. I'm off the wheels. Or I'm off the jack. All right. This thing is so heavy. I tried to pick it up from the back. I couldn't do it. But I wish I had had time to... No more chain clicking either. See, adjusting that motor really helped. All right. Well, getting ready for Busco Beach. Gotta go, guys. See you next time.